It was really hard. For our son, we said that we are going to vacation. We are going without father because he needs to stay at home. For my daughter, it was really a tragedy because he loves him very much, and he cried very, very, very strong. She cried, "Papa, Papa." It was really hard.
Go.
It's only been a few weeks since we sat down for this interview in Poland with Alona, a mother who had just fled war-torn Ukraine with her elderly parents and 2 toddlers. Just hours before we spoke, she had made it through the border of Ukraine and straight into the arms of her sister, Dr. Irina Bailin, an Israeli pediatrician who had been volunteering to help provide medical aid to Ukrainian refugees in Poland.
I immigrated to Israel with my husband and young daughter over a decade ago, but my entire family still lives in Ukraine. And since the start of the war, I've had horrible anxiety about how to rescue them, but they refused to leave the country at first. And because I felt so desperate to do something, I decided to volunteer with the disaster relief organization, Natan, right on the border of Ukraine, to be as close as possible.
Miraculously, the day that Dr. Bailin took off from Israel to Poland, she received a call from her sister. The entire family had decided to flee Ukraine.
I met them at the train station in Poland. It's very hard to see my parents and my sister with her small kids. They came with only 3 small bags. They left everything behind. Before this, I hadn't seen them for 2.5 years because of the pandemic and everything that comes with it. My niece was born 2 years ago, and this is the first time I'm meeting her, here in Poland. She cried the whole way from the train, and even when we arrived at the hotel, it took several hours for her to calm down. Every time someone opens the door to come in, she just hides behind the bed.
Alona's family comes from a small city called Nikolaev in southern Ukraine that's been under heavy bombardment from Russia.
It was very frightened, especially when shooting came to the house near us and in front of us and behind our house. Children was very afraid, especially my daughter. She asked, "What is it?" when it was bombing, boom, boom, boom. To my son, we tried to explain what's happened. Now, the only thing that he's drawing is tanks.
Since we last spoke, Alona and her family were granted the right to fly to Israel. They'll be living here for the next 3 months on a tourist visa, since they aren't eligible to officially immigrate to the country.
It's been a week since we came back. We try to get out of the house as much as possible for the little girl, but she refuses to leave her mother's side. She feels safer in open space than inside the apartment, but we're seeing small improvements.
I feel safe, but I feel not okay. Every day I try to speak to my husband. Sometimes he can speak to me, sometimes no. On Saturday, when it was Shabbat and many people with their families, children, all family goes to the playground, and it was hard to see. I also want my family back.
Less than 24 hours before this visit with the family, the main shopping street next to their home in Nikolaev was hit by a Russian missile, destroying their local supermarket and pharmacy and killing women and children.
I don't know if we have anywhere to go back to. Those are the thoughts going through my head. I pray to God. There's not much hope. I just hope all this stops.
I want my family to be happy, but it scares me to think about them going back. We went through so much just to get here, and for now, we know that we will be able to get their visa extended in Israel if the war continues. But it's frightening to think what will happen if they can't go back to Ukraine. What will be? It's a waiting game, but at least we are together.